Nicki Minaj is prepared to accept anything. Jay-Z was on their way there in their continued conflict due to her recent leak a few audio examples to demonstrate that Jay-Z was supposedly the only one at Diddy's weird offs, but the freak offs were first Nicki, Jay-Z's brainchild, has experienced problems. Lengthy period with Jay-Z, but it lately becomes so intense that she attacked him harshly on Twitter, saying that they say he attempted to poison her in order to keep him quiet about what she is aware of about him, and his bizarre encounters with Diddy. Nicki's assertions seem to be the last straw. Jay-Z's casket, because of the streets, been attempting to connect him to Diddy for a long time, and Nicki just gave up the proof now presented on a shiny plate. The feud between Nicki Minaj and Jay-Z has been simmering for a little longer on the download, more than a decade. But it wasn't until this year, in January, she ultimately became brave enough to confront him and his Roc Nation's label charges them with attempting to undermine her and funding a campaign of hatred directed upon her. But as it happens, Jay-Z wasn't the only one Nicki was at odds with, because she is having problems with his spouse as well. Beyonce and her partner were kind of strange since her former beauty solid. When Nicki returns, everyone I recall feeling what I'm experiencing. Flawless and I collaborated on several tracks later. Everything seemed to maintain their coolness. But after, as admirers began to notice some subtle jabs they were taking at one another, nobody specific in their lyrics knows when circumstances changed. But word the fact that it's connected to Nicki's sloppy behavior on social media. But let's online, real Nicki may become very nasty. She is. Battling with fans out here, taking the rap off of other celebs. Girls, stop criticizing the Grammy Awards. Don't even begin to mention the drama around Ken Petty, her husband, and his legal troubles. Although in fairness, when she does social media go off, is either as a measure of self-defense to make sure either to be honest or to defend oneself or her loved ones. But many others believe that Nicki's antics are causing problems due of her personal heritage these days. Turmoil seems to overwhelm her songs. Well, it seems as if she has been a magnet for turmoil, and everyone is aware of the extent Beyonce tries evading the controversy that prefers to focus her attention on the studio creates quality music in. Performs live, she put her family first, thus there was rumors that she separated herself because of the drama from Nicki. But even given all that's happening behind the moments with Nicki, which she was able to maintain adorable up till the Stallion Mig darkened her, the song became popular early this year and she went crazy after snapping at Jay-Z and Roc. Her tweet led many to believe that she was a bully. Since she always gets a Roc Nation breakfast, he told all of your teas, you'll be upset at party. Nevertheless, stop making fun of my family. Get up. Get back on your feet and apologize to her. She also posted a horrible snake and her mother. A screenshot of a Roc Nation advertisement on Twitter, whereby they advertised that she mentioned spending so much on his song. Large sum of money, yet she's barely broke autonomous artist. You have that right. The world understands you have to let it go, sweetie. She's a pain in the ass and keeps trying to make fetch happen. I recently released a song. Without a teaser or video, it has already second. She said that Jay-Z was using Roc Nation, his label, to get She Shot Roc Nation CEO Desai in her direction. Perez stating that I plunge into the following song into every individual desiree purportedly dismissed for additional grounds that are unclear, and a great deal of folks were taken by surprise and supposedly injured by her. She's willing gonna go bankrupt trying to take my position, fix it. The blogger and Jesus summarized the difficulties very politely, stating that meat really transformed you and sand, or don't bother the elderly woman anymore. Like that, I've fallen back regardless of what is shared on social media. After this, they don't want their name in real life. Bonded to the criminal, OLAD record Nicki further charged Roc Nation with purportedly funding a hate campaign opposed to her.
And the paid for TikToks and the paid for tweets, to the point where people got their little $250 for their tweet to say something bad about Nicki Minaj, and then the next day it was like, bitch, yeah, anyway, I'm listening to Bigfoot. So I don't know why anybody of that, and I'm not talking about any rapper, I'm talking about a company or companies.
So once there was no more, and that door was open, shutting it, and tension has been high since then between Nicki and Jay-Z, although apparently the dispute wasn't simply due of Nicki's use of social media, because Roc Nation and Jay-Z provided protection. Nicki accused of Meek Mill of domestic violence with texts. They formed Nicki's relationship. Once the Carter began to get sour around 2017, and oddly enough, that was at the same moment as her connection with Meek Mill began to decline, and she committed several significant DV charges made against him. At the moment, Meek inked a contract with Roc Nation, and some talk that Roc had been released. Nation purportedly intervened to maintain. Nicki kept silent to keep me safe. Streets was when Nicki felt like conversing. In the documentary, Nation purportedly intervened and ended everything the downward path.
I remember when my mother would let my father be violent with her, and she always brings up the story. As a little girl, I would stand in front of my mother and go like this, And I vowed, like, that's why I'm, like, maybe some people would describe me as abrasive or bitchy or whatever, because I vowed from that age, no man would ever abuse me, call me out my name, treat me like that. And then all of a sudden, that was my life.
The documentary didn't see the daylight, which is strange since it had previously been shot in its entirety. Country has been subject to comparable allegations of muting supporters before the tour. Lanez added that a person from the label told him to keep quiet about the turmoil that exists between him and Miguelian.
I get a call from Roc Nation that says, yo, we heard you're gonna make a statement about what happened, and it'd be in your best interest if you don't make that statement.
At this moment, when Nicki shared a little clip from the film discussing the poisonous connection she was in, however, she omitted any names. But Meek Mill dispatched Nicki after catching his sub, a letter of cease and desist, which made her immensely enraged, and she attacked him on Twitter, calling you a fool. Why do you do it? Loves, Twitter fingers, and scares ladies mails you filmed it. Your own sister spat on her, taped it, and looked me in the face. Of your mom sending her off to the so. How did you feel about Drake's D? Once again, you're never able to stand on your even if you were nearby. I'll see you soon. But the word on the streets these days is that the explanation for Jay-Z's closure of the documentary wasn't only meant to safeguard Meek Mill, but moreover, to shield Diddy and himself after Diddy's incarceration. And the indictment records that were exposed there reports from a number of sources that Jay-Z was purportedly a part of the Freaks too, which would explain the reason he leapt in right away to rescue the day. But he was watching out for more than just Meek lunch after she resolved her conflict with the Carters when Nicki was in the open. Boulder called calling Jay-Z out on his mistreatment and making that difficult for her out of resentment. For instance, when she hosted the VMAs, she said last year that someone had been disparaging her at the VMAs in an attempt to get her fired.
Now listen, real quick. MTV is petrified because they got a couple calls yesterday and people were saying, what if Nicki says this and if Nicki says that? And you know, and I said, it's okay, MTV, I can control myself.
And, well, you are aware that she was swapped out for Magda Stum in this fascinating this year's VMAs, isn't it? Her tirade at Jay-Z and Megan and Nicki was able to elude Jay-Z in. Kendrick was neglected by her until he was declared to be the main attraction at the Super See You All at the next year's Bowl halftime performance. Nicki Minaj, among others, anticipated Lil Wayne will make the cover due to the Super Bowl is taking place right now in New Orleans. Louisiana is the hometown of Lil Wayne, but for those of you who are unaware, Jay-Z received the most votes about who receives to play in the Super Bowl halfway through. Lil Wayne was already gone. Nicki thought Jay-Z was taking control. His vendetta against her on Lil Wayne. She attacked Jay-Z once again, reminding him that she was also covered in filth, that she would not think twice to reveal her accusations. Jay-Z accused MC of selling his soul, but he denied a young African-American guy would logically include it in this game out of pure desire. Yet your pride and enmity towards Birdman Drake while you were torturing Lil Wayne, Nicki, you know what's good? Lil Wayne, the GOAT Eminem insisted that 50 Cent attend. It's excellent yet sad because it's out of a white dude. These ninjas have no loyalty for them. Will continue to sully you, she said. One of the ninjas took a knee, while the other he's going to bring you ninjas in the bag. Lying consistently received everything in the world is still repulsive and nasty. Be joyful, and go be joyful, rap ninjas. Business. And when you have women's business, the cops and politicians are excellent. That hideous, hilarious taffy alien additionally, she said. And you don't know about half of what Lil Wayne has accomplished. Wayne had drenched me and others on he was on his tour without a printed sign. Every one of my mixtapes without a paper label. This guy has really altered the appearance. If you are aware of you, the hair of hip hop, know that he encouraged a great deal of people to tap at their looks and discover how looks influenced your favorite want to be a fantastic MC. But he was never in this for the money, as it has consistently been. Yes, Nicki had a passion for music, place a foot on Daisy's neck. And then take this, she returned to the property and hinted that it was said that Jay-Z a Tino. In an effort to silence her, she shared a photo of a takeaway order with a handwritten message with the words, "We love you." Barb, and she thanked God. I don't consume this stuff and imagine seeing this written here. Why would someone write on a brown paper bag? Give it a go and specify who it's for. Fans said it was time to rearrange and recess your group. Queen, no shade. It is very incompetent of anybody to even bring you up while placing a meal order. If my remark was meant for you, then this is unusual since I don't know this youngster. It's superfluous. Nicki said, oh, she was dismissed last year. Although it remained unclear why employed once again. Can you guess who she is? Functions, for I had no idea she was still employed up until yesterday night. My God. So it seemed as if she was implying that someone such as Jay-Z may have covertly employed the lady returned just to sneak into Nicki's O. They are camped to attempt to unif her. Very serious charges, but Nicki didn't rather bother of giving up. She intensified her says that she has information about Jay-Z, claiming that she have proof of Jay-Z me my man. Dodie engaged in bizarre encounters. She tweeted a new dude who pissed 60 every day. Years old receives a finger prick in the occupied before deciding to visit this website. Come lay on me. Bookmark God is in charge. I urge you all to never bring up my name once again. She kept worrying about the 15-year-old child's tea who was well traveled, but no remarks on the tea and the baby oil that has been used for decades. And even just a few months before, if we must hold 15-year-olds responsible and told they'll never be able to get over their what about the 30-year-olds who was the one who trained and trained sat silence, etc. Well, let's maintain the owner was the subject of blogs. She also alluded that Jay-Z had performed similarly, joking around as if they're brief and thick, like a Laffy Taffy alien breath declares, we'd want to know whether you were present while mistreats children and teens, or what we would want to know alias Foxy and other details throughout our killers. Did you shoot videos and stuff? Be aware of the Tekashi and Kim Porter, you guys, usually a peer-to-peer, and it kind of, so that's what we the people are doing. Want to talk about nasty with you and your people. You guys are ninjas, bald head, bowling ball. Not enough vigor for gangsters in person on the internet. Only for B, she went on to say that Daisy was on similar to his friend Diddy. The DL undercover males on Twitter always act with women since they've made up their minds that their reality is unlivable for them. Hence, ladies who haven't done anything they are wronged and have to pay. But just enough is enough with the current fix of Jesus. Yes, Nicki is definitely worn out of someone, and it seems to be Jay-Z thing. She had grown so weary of that she asserts that Jay-Z wasn't only companions with Diddy, but purportedly deeply entangled in the negative things that he attempted to inform us, by which I mean Jaguar R, about this several time ago.
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy. This pussy been lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 fucking years.
As per Nicki, Jay-Z have been utilizing the Roc Nation label as a front to manipulate young girls and women. I hope you understand. But this is an intriguing assertion, as it kind of confirms what Rihanna's last publicist said, mentioned the federal agents questioning him about the rumored Jay-Z relocation girls. The spokesperson said that one day on marked legislation, I was stopped by an enforcement vehicle. These frightening people were presented identifying as a government task force. They asked to talk with me, so when I went to speak with them, and I was in a total terror as I was sitting in a bleak temporary interrogation chamber. The seriousness of the situation increased evident to me, he went on. They said they had been closely monitoring Jay-Z's relationship since Lance on Riviera, and he was also connected to an event with R. Kelly on their combined tour advertising R. Kelly and Jay-Z's collaboration album. The policeman made it clear that they were looking into Jay-Z's allegations, having a private conversation with undercut Rihanna and move her around beyond international boundaries. They claimed she was not alone. In fact, there were several others that nobody gains from reckless aspiration. He claims questioning was a harsh reality check. Looking back, however, there are a few grave concerns since Jay-Z was once quite near A.R. Kelly, and the couple has two. They have almost 30 collaboration albums, songs together, and they're on tour. As everyone is aware, Daisy also has a tight relationship with Diddy for several decades. Thus, it's not that difficult to reach a few of the findings that Jaguar Wright and Trapper Ross have arrived. Once again, with JT Jaguar, Watt tried to alert us to this when she asserted that Jay-Z is said to have paid Rihanna's father $500,000 upon Rihanna's signing.
Discovered Rihanna at 3 a.m. in the morning in a hotel room on the island where she comes from, with no parental supervision. And then she was put on a private plane, a minor, from one country to another, without parental supervision. And she ended up in a boardroom with Mr. Carter, without parental supervision. Y'all got young children. Would you just let your daughter leave and go to a whole other country with some motherfucking niggas you don't know?
Absolutely not.
Doing talent shows at 3 a.m.
So you're saying that the rumors are true. There are rumors circulating that Rihanna was actually trafficked here. Are you saying that
Starting to
that's...
sound that way. Because her daddy ain't show up till 24 hours later to pick up a $500,000 check for his daughter's ass. Maybe we should look more into that album Auntie. That album cover was disturbing. A child bride with a crown over her head and blood smeared on her face. I don't know. How don't people see SOSs anymore?
Not only that, but Nicki is also asserting that Jay-Z was prompt because in order to shield Meek Mill from her DV charges, said he was the one who supposedly gave Diddy Meek Mill he started by, clapping Meek's cheeks. Allegedly, but in relation to Mr. Meek Millie, he has been battling to survive. In opposition to the claims and charges, he has been Diddy's boy toy since arguing with everyone on Twitter and stating things I don't do. Like I'm from Philadelphia, either Crazy Molly, Nobody, or Nose Candy. Never give it to me as I'm that bulky none or anything would ever talk to me about homosexuality. And the not a single thing gets switched awake. Seeing this on all blogs as if they are aware, he said, I'm coming, which is why I always appear all these fascinating ninjas with my true pals. You've never find me with anybody from the sector on its own. You can't even hold a conversation without my dog interfering room. That's how it's always been, he said, self-defense, stating, when I received a female nearby, I'm twice as effing with her as ask some of your favorite people today. P don't command me, yet it feels like a high. Sweetie, the homosexual community, but that Juicy P did it for me. I don't run stop signs in order to the strange vibe you all have on here. He also claims that devils are attempting to say, tear him down with my voice. Strong for a ghetto-born black dude they want to eliminate it globally. I'm a genuine king emerges from the trenches under influence over no human being that they learn to harm cannot halt the use of bot-generated brands. Throughout political campaigns, he additionally said, I will offer you a personally $1 million if all of these tales add up beyond trench, hood, and anything strange. There are two things we are. Unable to accomplish in the trenches, you have no idea the kind of man. I'm doing great. Then we discovered a full Meek Mill audio leak purportedly getting his back against Clé by Diddy. And it was rather vivid. Diddy's bodyguard then said that they were the person who released the audio.
Diddy's bodyguard at the time claimed to be the one who leaked the audio.
Yo, Diddy had that man in the room. Look, yes, I put my ear to the fucking door and I brought the phone because Diddy started going in overdrive. I ain't know what the fuck was going on, but I just heard balls slapping against ass cheeks. I heard niggas struggling to take dick. I heard niggas being like, yeah, daddy. Like when he started all that daddy this and daddy that, and then I heard some hollering and struggling like, yeah, I kept the phone there and I recorded all this shit because I was like.
The rumor circulating the streets is that Nicki is said to have placed the bodyguard because she needs leverage to accomplish it over Roc Nation and me. And that's not all, since recent studies have shown that Nicki is purportedly even more tonal than Jay-Z, including a purported footage when up in. Not sure how long Nicki will stay this power, but Jay-Z could be interested in observing his movements around her as she did not come to entertain you in the audience. I've been keeping track of every T commenting on Jay-Z Fef was repulsive and nasty. Clock him. Nicki, how can I not know? Daisy and I are going to fix this, and the fact that she is far more knowledgeable and doesn't hesitate to share it makes me worry about her security, since others are so horrible that I only pray they remain safe. And Jay-Z's place is going to blow up shortly once the Foxy Night expires in 2025, darling. I feel like Rock when she sings. Nation is almost finished, which is why Nicki is much at ease speaking in this manner, although I learned what you all thought about everything. I've been examining the feedback on this, and it's becoming absurd. What do you guys think? That Nicki is disclosing Jay's unclean laundry like that? Let your mind wander, leave a remark below, and then see the following video.